The FAA has begun an audit of 45 major airports aiming to reduce close calls on the nation's runways. Now, just days ago in San Diego, air traffic controllers briefly put two Southwest planes on a potential collision course. Yikes for that. But they caught it just in time. Chris Van Cleve talked about the dangers with two pilots who survived another close call.
Southwest aboard.
As this NTSB animation shows, a FedEx 767 came within 150 to 170 feet of landing on top of a Southwest 737 at the Austin, Texas airport last February. It was an extremely foggy morning. Air traffic controllers in the tower couldn't see the runway, but cleared the Southwest flight to take off and FedEx to land. FedEx Captain Hugo Carvajal was at the controls.
And as soon as the tower cleared them to take off, we knew that there was an issue because we were about 3 miles, which is too close at that point.
Just moments before possible disaster, FedEx First Officer Robert Pradine saw something through the fog below.
I saw a light that turned out to be the position light on the Southwest airplane, and quickly saw the silhouette following that and called for a go-around.
What goes through your mind as you're seeing an airplane that shouldn't be there?
Obviously, there's a moment of disbelief. Am I really seeing this? Is this really an airplane right there? And then training and experience kick in.
Last Wednesday, another close call near the Austin airport when the FAA says a Cessna unexpectedly flew within hundreds of feet of an American Airlines 737 on approach to land from Chicago, forcing the pilots of American Flight 2587 to take an evasive maneuver before landing safely. And earlier this month in San Diego, controllers briefly put two Southwest planes on a potential collision course after clearing one plane to taxi across the runway the other was using to take off.
Southwest 1478 canceled takeoff clearance.
Former NTSB Chair Robert Sumwalt was part of an FAA committee reviewing close calls that made 24 safety recommendations.
I certainly think things are moving in the right direction. It's important that those of us in the aviation profession, we not lose vigilance and that we continue to push for better procedures, better technology, better staffing, and that we don't get complacent.
The FAA says close calls, especially those happening on runways, are rare and on the decline. In a new audit, the agency will look to identify any additional gaps in procedures, equipment, or processes at the nation's 45 busiest airports. Recommendations to further reduce the risk of runway close calls are expected by next year. For CBS Mornings, I'm Chris Van Cleve in Washington.
Thank you, Chris Van Cleve. It's good to know that they're really looking into this. Have you ever been on a flight where it's coming in for a landing and then all of a sudden the pilot guns it and you go right back up in the air?
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is isn't good.
Yeah.
Whatever it is isn't good.
I know. We all want our planes to, get there on time and move quickly, but not so quickly that they're on top of each other. And I love this report because it's some of the things we don't think about.
Exactly.
We just want to get to our location, destination, and land. Yet another example of a quick-thinking pilot seeing something and making an adjustment.